as we get older in life, we just decide the stressors that I can eliminate out of my life, I'm eliminating.
It's not just about you. It's much bigger than you. If you will surrender, submit, and work on your marriage, God can do something so incredible through both of you. Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Asbel.
And we want to welcome you to another episode on A Cup of Real. And we are going to talk about marriage. Probably 20 minutes, maybe, if that. But talking more about finding common ground when you're in the middle of a storm, when things aren't going well, when you're having your struggles. And it could even mean when you're in a place where you're kind of disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Finding common ground is so important because if you're constantly talking about 24/7, it's going to cause more
You're
problems.
always talking about the issue that you
it's
want
not healthy.
solved versus the things that you have in common, because sometimes you just need to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
Because God will handle what you can never do through all of the concentration on whatever those core issues are. I've had to do that because there are things that bother me about you, and there's things that bother me, you about me.
Yeah.
And so what I've had to do in this process, I mean, we've been through our journey, and we're on a much better trajectory.
We're in a much better place than we were a while ago. I mean, we went through a long thing, but we're in a totally different place. And
there are things that we enjoy like doing together.
Yeah.
That's the commonality. Those are the things that we focus on. What do we like doing together? What are those things? What are, the message of compassion and great, like this is where we get animated. We'll go and talk about that versus focusing on, well, I saw you went and spent all this money on this. Like what, I mean, you're giving all the money away.
Or you're so loud, I can't focus.
Like, can you leave? So I try to be cognizant. Let's talk about that issue because I really am. So we're a 100% work from home company. So I travel a lot, but when I am home in my office, I'm downstairs.
And we have a smaller house.
She works upstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm just loud, just naturally loud.
Very loud. We can be in the airport and he's on a call and I'm like, people are starting to look and he's going, well, did you look at the data? Did you? But it gets louder and louder. But in our house.
But I will try not to take phone calls because I just know naturally I get loud. It's just hard.
But what I've been doing lately is when you're home in the mornings, especially because I'm trying to focus and work, is I will turn on soft music now. And it does help kind of, your assistant Susanna knows. Like, I'll be like, do you know what his schedule is? Because sometimes I'm doing recordings, doing work calls, all this stuff.
Well, usually what she does is, so I try to, if I'm home during the day, I'll try to work in my office till about 10:30 to 11, and then I leave and I'll go somewhere else. Just because I know she needs some time. Or sometimes she'll ask me, are you leaving today? And I'm like, that's my cue to say, I got some things I need to get done. Can you get out of the house?
Sorry. No, it's just...
See, that's the difference between being nice and being kind. We talk about this on another episode. Being kind would say, I need you to leave the house at 11 o'clock and come back at 3 because I need to get some stuff done.
I'm not going to say that, because it's your house.
That's what I would do.
But it's your house. I would
that's
never
what I would
say
do.
that.
But it's okay. I would be okay with that, literally.
My settle... little punchline is, are you leaving the house?
Yeah.
So you know that.
Yeah. I now know when she asks me, are you going to be leaving the house today? I'm like, okay, that's your cue. You need to leave today. Because you got things to do. Sometimes I'll come out and ask you now, are you going to be recording or whatever? So then I'll kind of try to
I've been trying to let you know
up
front more and more. Yeah. So that's one thing that we definitely deal with. The house being messy really isn't that big of a deal as much now. I mean.
Here's was the one thing though. It's when we got married, you told me right away, you're like, I don't like cleaning the house. I'm not a deep cleaner. I keep the house clean, which you do.
The kitchen's
but I'm
always,
not the type of person. I don't like to go in and clean toilets and vacuum and all that kind of stuff. So we hire a housekeeper to do that, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
It's
every
just
few weeks.
Yeah, it's just those type of things that it's like you just kind of have to know, what are they? Don't go in there expecting. I'm not the guy that expects that when I get home that she has to have food cooked and ready for her, but she enjoys cooking. Yeah. So generally Monday through Thursdays, she will, if I'm home, she likes to cook. And so she always has food at 5:30 because that's what she likes doing. On Friday night, we go out. On Saturdays, I cook. Yeah. And on Sundays, we decide. Sometimes we cook, sometimes we don't. We figure that out.
Yeah.
But that's something that kind of works for us. But I don't expect her to cook, but she enjoys it.
But the other thing that used to bother you, which now you calm down a lot, like if there was dog bones or anything.
Oh dear Lord, yeah.
He would go
because with the dogs,
pick those bones out.
Well, because they would just be everywhere, and I'm just like, I just like things kind of picked up a bit. I can be a little bit very OCD, but it's. Yeah.
I don't know if it's age, the stress load, or if it's patches.
Here's my standpoint on that is as we get older in life, we just decide I'm not majoring on the minors. I'm just not. What can I eliminate out of my life that's stressed? The stressors that I can eliminate out of my life, I'm eliminating. That's travel stressors, driving, anything that is like you control that stress in your life. If somebody cuts you off driving down the road, you can decide, I'm just going to let it go, or I can get mad about it. I control that. I control my time delays. Like, I can control how early I can get to the airports. So I don't have to worry about if there's a long line. I'm not stressing to get through it. So my standpoint is I arrive to the airports 2.5 hours early every single time. I don't care. I just go right into the club and I work. I'm not stressing about that. I've never, ever stressed out that I was going to miss a flight. Ever.
Well, you know what?
I used to, but not anymore.
But it's funny because my dad, he traveled all the time. He would call me sometimes and be 3 hours in. He was already through the TSA line. And I remember thinking, why is he there so early? Now I get it. Because I'm like, I want to be there 2.5 hours early.
Well, you get there because you realize there's some stress I can't control. So there's some stressors I just can't control. They're not in. But if I can control the stress, and that's the whole thing, is I can control the stress at home. Like if there's a dog bone laying out, I can let my OCD get ahead of me, or I can just say, you know what? It just is what it is. Just go pick it up.
Even with our little Bella, she's almost 15.
She's old.
She's having little accidents now in the house.
Like everywhere. Not little accidents. She can't. They're everywhere now.
She's a little toy Pomeranian. She's 6.5 pounds. She's the cutest thing. She looks like a teddy bear. She really is the cutest dog. But she definitely is pooping more in the house and having
pee everywhere. There's half the stuff sometimes when she's gone, I don't even tell her about. I just clean it up because she can't hold anything. Yesterday it happened with Sierra being here. We get out there, I come downstairs, I come out of my office, and I'm like
little pellets.
And Sierra's like, let's go get it. Bless her heart. Because she's like, she just can't hold. She should wear a diaper.
No, she's not that bad. No. She's my dog. But no, if you take her out every 2 hours, 2.5 hours, she does okay. But after 3.5, then she probably will go. That's where we are. But that doesn't mean I'm putting her down because she can't hold her.
No, we're sad. But I'm just saying these are stressors. Like,
but in the past,
10 years ago, this would have been
it would have been war.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been.
This is kind of where you're growing. You kind of understand there's certain things to eliminate, some things to not. I'm like, it doesn't bother me.
But I do think having Patches.
Oh yeah,
his dog, which is really my dog too, but I got it for him. He's helped a lot.
Amazing.
But so we're talking about common ground. These are not common ground things. These are just things that we have dealt with in the past. One thing that we have...
Well, sometimes the reason why we can't get to common ground is because we have majored so many on the minor issues that everything's a big issue.
Yeah.
Because I know that with some couples, they start nitpicking everything at that point. I'm thinking, when you're nitpicking that tells me there's a symptom of something bigger. When I am having issues related to the house wasn't clear or something was out of place, or that tells me there's something deeper going on. There's generally something deeper going on. Because what does that matter to your marriage? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you begin to nitpick, though, your spouse.
That's what I'm saying.
When something's going on, everything about your spouse is driving you nuts.
Yep.
Because I've been there. We both have been there.
That's because we had a lot of other deeper issues going on.
I was focused on little things, and they were driving me crazy, and I was mad and angry, and it was driving you crazy. But we were having a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were...
Because there were deeper issues
We were hanging
on
by a thread.
Yeah.
A little thread. But we did do our date nights in spite of...
We still do those. Like, that's important. It is very important to have a date night.
But I remember going and not talking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was horrible. And what you made that
We were those couples, like we talked about, we were those couples that were on their phone.
Yeah. We're not on our phones anymore. We are very cognizant of putting our phones away, and we talk and we literally it's
We
so
solve all the
important.
world's problems
Yeah,
now.
and now we'll look around at couples, and we'll see them on their phones, and we're like, "We
I
used to
bet
do
they
that."
I bet they're having a problem.
Yeah.
I bet that it would start they're, like, thinking they probably need
Creating
some
stories.
advice like we
Yeah.
did, you know?
But this is the other thing I was thinking about is, like, we use date nights, but some people may be in such a bad place that they can't do a full-blown dinner date night because it's too long for them to stare at
Go
each other.
coffee.
So go to coffee. Go see a movie. Go to a sports event if you're into sports. Do something where you're at least together, right? Don't you
Together.
feel that?
And I agree with that. Like, sometimes it's like to go something where there's a distraction,
Yeah.
like a movie
Yeah, but you're still
or
together.
whatever, but you're still together
Yeah.
because you're building something.
Because at dinner, you're having to talk.
Yeah.
And
well,
that may
even if you're not,
yeah.
it's just where you are that you're setting because love is a state of being, it's not an emotion. And we have created that love is like an emotion.
Like a Hallmark.
It is not an emotion. Stop watching all those Hallmark movies and all those movies. I mean, watch them, but keep them into perspective if you want to. That is not
Perfect.
marriage. That is not what love is. It's the great thing that we all like at the very beginning. It's that dopamine hit.
The fairy
we
tale.
call it the honeymoon
Yeah.
piece stage of it.
Yeah.
That's the dopamine fix that you get. But after a while, life starts happening. I found an interesting statistic, or not I found, but it was a book I was reading or I was watching something that talked about that typical divorces, the highest range of divorce happens in the first 7 years of marriage or after 25 years of marriage.
When I got certified in counseling,
or
they
after
talked a
25
lot
years
about
of
the 25 marriage, the empty nester stage. It's the
That's
highest.
because
of
people
divorce.
forgot about finding that common ground.
Well, they
your common ground was your kids. Then your kids,
their lives were focused on their kids. Everything evolved around the kids, so they forgot to romance each other, go out together, have a date night, have a coffee night. They didn't do that.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple, or a gentleman, not the couple, but the guy, and he was kind of sharing with me, and he said that some of their closest friends wound up. He said him and his wife were looking at each other, thinking, if that can happen to them, and that they watch a lot of what we do as well. That like that, if that can happen to us, it could happen to us.
Yeah.
And they started setting up, having date nights, like thinking, investing in themselves right now.
Right now.
While their kids, you've got to, it's like
Don't
with anything
wait.
else, don't wait.
Don't
wait.
So
All the
important.
struggles that we had, even with Sierra being in there,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It was.
That added to all the stress.
It added to it. And had
Yeah.
you not had that prayer closet experience that you had, we literally would not have made it.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's
that grew my faith. that ignited a new faith in me because I had
Yes.
lost a lot of my faith.
Yeah.
You know, I was that prodigal. I was jaded. That kind of reignited my faith back in God and in prayer and in believing in the principles.
But you
You know,
really
really did.
understand that what he was teaching you is even more than just about our marriage.
Oh,
It's what birthed several of these books that you have
Yes.
released now. Had you not had that experience with God in the prayer
Would never
closet
be.
that took you back, you wouldn't have been able to
No.
to write The Fearless
I
Woman.
wouldn't be doing
You
adult
wouldn't.
ministries.
You're exactly right. And which it started with our marriage. It was
Yeah.
almost like that learning experience that God brought you through was more than just our marriage.
Oh, yeah.
It was building something in you
Right.
that you're able to now move into. That's how God does things, though.
So you got to think about it. It's not just about you.
No.
It's much bigger than you. If you will surrender, submit, and work on your marriage, God can do something so incredible through both of you.
Well, it's the reason why I surrendered.
Yeah.
Had I
Yeah.
not seen, like, I just kept thinking, she's a farce.
She-
We'll see. That's not going to last long. I mean, that's how our brains were. We were
Yeah.
both preachers' kids.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
We
We've seen it
we
all.
saw
Like,
fake
we
it.
know how you can get in there and you can put it
Put
on.
it on, look it.
You
look
can act
everything.
it, whatever,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
think for a while, and then all of a sudden it happens again.
Like,
we
oh, yeah.
we moved through that
We've
process.
been there, done that. Yeah.
But it was consistency.
It was consistent.
And I saw that consistency, and she
Something
kept
got
at
in
it,
me.
and it started
yeah.
it started softening my heart.
Yes.
God softened yours,
Yeah.
and then he turned and started
Yeah.
softening mine.
Because I was hard.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like done. And he softened my heart. And people will ask me sometimes, well, what else did you do? There were other things but the main thing I'm telling you was sitting with God in prayer. I promise you that is what
That's
transformed me.
simple. We
It-
think it was something different.
Yeah.
The problem is it required surrender.
Surrender.
If you had not surrendered your will to his will, a lot of times that's what it is.
Because I had a hard time surrendering. I didn't want to surrender. I was like, it's not my fault. I'm not the problem here. It's that Betty over there. You know, I remember telling God, I'm not the problem, but I was a part of the problem in my own way. Yeah, you had your issues, but I had my issues.
Yes, you did.
And I wasn't
We both had issues.
And I wasn't surrendering them.
Yeah.
And so neither of us were surrendering. So if you're not surrendering your issues, you're gonna be like a volcano. You're gonna explode. The whole marriage is gonna explode. So you have to, and we're in a much better space now, but we might have issues down the road. So we need to remember we have things to fall back on, is what I should say.
Well, here's what we do know is, and this is so biblical at this point in time, is we do know that the enemy, if he can separate the family the family unit, he wins.
Yeah.
And so the more that you impact, the more that you influence, he is going to keep trying to insert himself into our marriage.
That's why we need to recognize it.
We have to recognize it.
Yeah.
And it's very, very easy to get distracted.
It's
very easy
when you're busy.
When you're busy.
And you're busy, I'm busy. And so, 1 Peter 5:8 talks about be sober, be vigilant, for the enemy, the devil's prowling around like a roaring lion, seeking who he can devour. He's trying to devour us. Now he's like, okay, I couldn't get him there for those 10 years.
Let's figure out if there's something
almost
else
fell
we
apart,
can get him.
but they're strong now. They're unified now. So now I got to find another opening. Yeah. And he's seeking.
And remember, he's lurking.
Looking.
He's like a snake.
Yes, he's like a snake.
He's just lurking. He's trying to find it out.
He's hidden in the grass.
Right.
Yeah, literally.
And so that's what we forget about that. So we think
because we're busy.
We're never on. You should
I'm having
always
an aha moment
be
right now.
Yeah.
You need to start praying for discernment again about your marriage. You need to really focus again, because I'm in a vein. I'm excited about what I'm doing. You're excited about what you're doing. We're both busy, but that's when the enemy can sneak in.
That's when the enemy sneaks in.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, now I know what I gotta go pray about.
So, those are the things. Like, these are enlightening things that we're being real and not everyone goes through it. So just because you moved it doesn't mean you stop being vigilant.
No.
You have to constantly be on the watch, constantly having conversation in your marriage, finding those common grounds, and don't let the enemy focus on the small things that irritate us.
Yes.
Or I don't know why you're doing this, or I'm doing this, because we're in stages of planning and moving or whatever. And if you're not careful,
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I don't have time for this.
You better make time for this, buddy, sister. I brought you guys together for a purpose. So you need to focus, you need to make time for this. But for people watching this, back to finding common ground, we're not sports people at all. No. You and I could care less. Now, every once in a while, football game, basketball game, we like. But other people, they love sports. So that may be something that's common for them to go watch a baseball game, basketball, football. Or we both like, we're foodies. You and I love food. So, and we like different food. And I'm a coffee snob, so sometimes we'll visit little things.
We love to do fun stuff like that. So when we go on vacation, like we're going on a vacation, whatever, and I thought about this. It's kind of romantic. I knew she likes the movie The Roman Holiday. And so I'm doing this really cool thing we're going over to Europe, but we're taking this photographer with us, and I'm going to every single little iconic area in the Roman Holiday
with Audrey Hepburn.
I think it's 6 hours, and we're just going to go around, spend time.
Just you and me?
Just you and me.
Oh,
just you and me. So
awesome!
It'll be fun to kind of do through the process. So.
But you have to find. You don't have to go to that extreme. Trust me.
No. But you just do find those things that you like doing. When we go to New York City, we like New York City. When we go to New York City, we like to go to the shows, or we like the Met, we like the opera, we like the symphonies, we love music. We're both musically inclined. Those are things that we can be mad at each other, but if we go there, those things are like,
they can almost kind of
conversations start bringing stuff together. So like if you're in the midst of having something where, I'm just very upset with them right now, find those things that you have commonality on.
Almost like a distraction, but not too much of a distraction. You're still together. Yeah, I think that's
and
so
you don't
important.
sit here and say, I don't have anything. We don't have anything in common.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
everybody has
something in common.
Well, I have a friend, a good friend, her husband, I forgot what it's called, some kind of golfing thing. It's not golfing. It's like you throw I forgot what it's called. But she's never been into it, but she goes sometimes now,
Pickleball?
It's not pickleball.
No.
It's like golfing and you're throwing something in the air. If she watches this, she's going to text me and tell me. But it's not her thing. but they're both getting into the empty nester stage. So they're making an effort. They go on drives. They love driving in the country.
Well, there you go.
You know?
See, that's a
That's what
common
I'm
thing. So
saying.
you get in the car and go on a drive together.
And they like to look at properties and take pictures of beautiful scenery, you know. And
even if you don't talk to each other because you're mad at each other, get in and say, hey, let's go on a drive and go look at properties. That is something that in common.
Different, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say is just do something. It doesn't have to be like us. Whatever works for you guys. Maybe your husband likes to go fishing. Thank God you don't like to go fishing, babe.
Well, it's like my mom and dad, they like to go fishing, and so they'll sit there. So funny because my dad's he's 81, my mom or whatever, and so for Father's Day, we're going to go to, we've got this Airbnb out by a lake in rural
You're going to be
Ohio.
fishing with mosquitoes.
It's not anything I want to do. We'll air this after Father's Day, but my dad is going to be in heaven.
It's his element.
And my mom will sit there and he will fish, and he doesn't care if he catches anything. It's just sitting there.
And you got to have Spanish music on.
And just sitting there and enjoying. And so my mom and dad do that.
Yes.
And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know? They've been married 56 years, and we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly as kids. Because marriage is never pie and sky. There's always going to be. And so, but they found those common things that they like to do.
I think literally that's one of the most important things, finding common ground in the storm, finding common ground when you're not connected. You're kind of disconnected. Those common ground things will help you. They really will. And then what was bothering you about your spouse can actually kind of disintegrate and dissolve because you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. When you do.
I've learned too, babe. I'm learning just as I get older. I'm learning in anything, not just our marriage. I'm learning that whether it's work related, whether it's like volunteer related, I can focus on the things that I don't like about something, or I can focus on the things that I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I focus on is going to influence how I react to something, how I respond to something, and how I perceive something. And I am making conscious choices to either not participate, to say no. But if I say yes, I am focusing on the good.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? I have an opportunity to say yes or no. Once you've said yes to something, whether I've said yes to our marriage, whether I've said yes to a client, whether I've said yes or whatever, I'm going to focus on the good of it. And the moment I can no longer focus on that, then I'm going to say no. But marriage is different because marriage is a contract.
Well, the yes is the commitment.
The yes is
so
the
you're
commitment.
talking about a commitment. Once you make a commitment.
Once I say yes, which in marriage, when we said till death do us part, it was till death do us part.
Yeah. Well, like my dad used to say, and I'm sure your dad would tell you this, is a handshake was a yes.
Yeah.
Like you take people at their word. Back in the old days, they would shake, and you didn't even have to have a contract written.
No.
It was, your word was your handshake.
Word was our bond.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we get back in that thinking, well, okay, the contract we signed, we'll just unsign it.
Right.
Whether it's client engagement, whether it's something that you say that you're going to volunteer to do and say yes, I'm okay with saying no. If I'm not 100% support, like I'm okay with the no. There's somebody else who have a yes for you. You're not going to manipulate me into trying to say a yes. I'm not going to, because I used to get that way. And that was why I would sometimes say yes when I did not want to say yes.
Yeah.
And God is teaching me saying, let your yes be yes, son, and your no be your no.
It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no. And it's okay to sit in the uncomfortable of the no.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a no, but I would love to do it, but I can't because of this. You don't owe an explanation to anyone for your no.
I was just going to say that there doesn't have to be a but after the no. Just, I can't, I don't, and sometimes you don't have the capacity to do something else or to do that. I just don't have the capacity yet. So it's a no. I can't right now.
Sometimes we're so busy and we're just like, we're just so busy.
And we feel pulled.
Why?
To do
Start exploring the why.
Yeah.
That's what I used to look at my schedule, and I've been learning that, going through my schedule. I have to say I've learned a lot through some training that I've gotten from whatever to say, go through your schedule. Anything that you felt like you said yes to, that you should have said no to, take it off your schedule.
Oh, that's kind of hard,
Take it off
with
your
everything
schedule.
you do. That's kind of hard, right?
And I have, no. It's the problem. And then I've been training, I've been coaching, I've been bringing other people up, saying sometimes you're at your capacity, you're so full because you have not coached correctly. You've not trained correctly.
Yeah.
And so then you're stressed out. You should look in the mirror and reflect and say, why?
Yeah.
Well, but they don't do it the way that I do it. That sounds like a problem. What was all that was in there?
Yeah.
They don't do it the way that I. You might want to start reflecting.
Yeah.
Why do I feel that way? Does it give me validation? Does it make me feel better about myself when I do that?
It goes back.
I'm talking about myself. Like I've literally had to have those hard conversations.
It really goes back to control.
Yeah.
It really, because we all have, some people are very controlling, abusive men, abusive women. We know, you have control. But I think all of us have a need to control. We feel the need to control something. We just do. It's just a part of human
who
nature.
We are. But to my standpoint is that's why we have to be due diligence about it. We have to crucify. Paul said, I have to crucify, meaning he said I have to be intentional every single day.
Every single day.
Every single day. And so that's what I have to be intentional about it. And then I need to have the blind spots uncovered. I need to be asking people for, tell us where the blind spots are. Tell me where the blind spots are. What am I not seeing? I want to hear. I really, truly want to hear it.
Yeah. And that comes with not having yes people. Because yes people won't see the blind spots. Or if they do, they'll cover it up.
And the same thing with marriage. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, and sometimes your spouse may be, she's been telling you or he's been telling you, but you've not wanted to listen because you've known better. Well, find close friends that will tell you, like, is there something I should do better?
Well, if you're like
have you
me,
thought about that?
I'm not going to nag.
Yeah,
I will drop hints to you. I will tell you things, you know me. I will say things, and then I see the feathers ruffle, and I'm like, I'm not doing this, and I'll go pray. I just say, God, send someone to my husband. That's what I would do now. Send someone to my husband. It's not worth getting into a huge hissy fit over, and you're going to have to handle this. Because I feel things, see things. Yeah.
And he does. He literally does.
I have learned that. Nag not. I really have. It's been, there was a scripture I was going to read.
She'll come back and tell me, I've been praying about that for 6 months, and it's whatever. And I'm like, well, this person touched that. I knew. I've been praying about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
No, later. I have learned the power of praying is the most incredible thing. There's a scripture. All my notes for this, it didn't download. But there's a phenomenal scripture about, we're going to use it in our book. I found it and I meant to tell you about it, but it's about the cords being tightened and how God is in the middle of that. Yeah. It's powerful. I was like, oh my word, this is our theme for our book. So, yeah.
Well, stay tuned because we are going to be releasing our book as well. But she really felt, she told me, I really feel for us to talk about the common ground in marriages. I've been feeling that lately. So if there's something that we're saying today, obviously it's for somebody that's listening, because the one thing I do know about you is you're sensitive to when the Holy Spirit leads to talk about something, and we're pretty open about the things that we go through. Is if you're going through something, you're going through challenging times in your marriage right now, you need to find that common ground. We still do. We still find that common ground, because we know right now that there is going to be attacks of the enemy against our marriage. We know it. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Well, I'm going to definitely start being more vigilant. When we were talking earlier, I had that aha moment, like, okay, you've been a little bit lenient, And
you don't ever want to stop when it's going good, because that's generally when we stop becoming vigilant, is when things are going great.
No, it didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You hear that. It came out of nowhere.
No, it didn't.
There were signs. You just weren't paying attention. So,
Well, thanks for joining us for this Cup of Real.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day, y'all.